Okay, greetings everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Just wanted to put a quick little message out there about this metaverse and all these panels and the psychology of things and language and how artful it is. And I tell people all the time, learn how to coin your words or purse your lips. And there are a few things that I've come to learn in this research in the last 7 years, not just in the legal system, not just in diet and all that, but many areas. And one of the ones I've been learning about lately is, like I said, on these panels and the psychology of it. And the conscience level of each individual is blatantly expressed in their actions and their words. Again, I say coin your words or purse your lips, because a man's intellect is limited and biased by his own vocabulary. And I put no blame on anybody on this, particularly knowing that you're born in a spell of illness, literally. It's just simply inpatient hospital services that are provided when you're born. And they literally define it as a spell of illness. And it's illicit. I see it. And the simple thing about reaching a higher consciousness is when we talk about this English language, the last time I was in court in regards to any kind of offense or anything that they actually processed, was that traffic violation that they turned into a sixth possession offense. And that judge looked at me and said, "Do you understand English?" And I, in my belligerent combatant state of mind, vehemently professed, "Yes." And through the 7 years, I've been constantly reflecting on that, because that was the key. He was asking me a question, whether he knew it or not, or whether I knew it or not at the time, was one of the biggest questions in my life. Because that's what led me down this road, knowing already that English language is comprehensive of Latin, French, all kinds of Greek, and they all go back in an etymological fashion to various other sources, each and every one of them. Latin, Greek, all those come from other sources, and they all lead back to an original language, supposedly. And I think that's a trap for everybody, is thinking that all these words and symbols and graphs and everything are so important that they see outside of themselves, when the true conscience is the inside. It's the inside and how you create your world around you. See, there was a nice little panel with Jack tonight where Flow State wanted to sit there and try to block my comments or time me out. So like I said, I've got 10 profiles. So I just kept coming back under different names. See, and that's just the conscious level that they understand now. Wait till I change the names. See, you've heard about the name change thing in this legal research. You can do that anytime, and you can do it as many times as you want. See, it's uniform throughout all jurisdictions. So when you create profiles on these social sites, you can create multiple profiles. And you can change the names. So it's going to be kind of hard to keep up with somebody that already expresses his right to speak in any platform and knows how to enforce it. See, the people that are sitting in certain ideologies and stuff, they're going to fail in that consciousness, because their ideology extensively outside of them from everybody else's perspective. They don't know how to be themselves. without importing everybody else's characteristics because they don't know what theirs are, so they can create them and mold them throughout their life. Kind of like Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain, and all the various characters he wrote about in his books. Who has authority over those? No one. They're fiction. But everybody gets to read their story, don't they? Why? Because everybody already knows they're fiction. So it can't hurt anybody. See, the psychology is that everybody wants to try to disposition others by calling them names. You can't disposition certain people, particularly when it comes to these levels of consciousness. See, you got to realize there are some people that aren't going to be able to raise their level of consciousness. Those are the ones that I call bitch-ass slaves. And I do so to trigger them by using ad hominems like bitch-ass slave to get them to see plainly what's before their eyes. It's simple. Like I mentioned in my earlier video, if there's no birth registry in the United States, then how can one be born in the United States? There's no material fact evidence showing that anybody's ever been born in the United States. There is no birth registry in the United States. So the birth registry comes from the state where one is born. Oh, well, the state ceded their jurisdiction to the United States. Well, still, the United States is the debtor, and it's known to be located in Washington, D.C., which is the 10 square mile boundary. And therefore, goodness gracious, it seems to me, and it would be reason and logic to assume, presume, and otherwise assert that the United States is merely a matter of a record. That's it. Nothing more and nothing less. It has no conscience about it. How can it pose sovereignty if it has no conscience? You see the fallacy in all the fiction, folks? See all of those notes and annotations and CFR and US code and all those symbols and letters and words that form comments? They're already known to be inventions, fabrications, and fictions, and you're the ones that want to believe them. The simple fact of it is you show them for the fiction they are, and that it's impossible to believe a fiction. It has to come to a realization, and then it's known as real. It's no longer a fiction. See, the concept of a contract to build a building is a fiction until the building is built. Then the building is built and supposedly the contract is done. Now we got real. Different levels of consciousness, folks. So think about this and remember, the consciousness is from within you. And if you can't learn how to discern yourself, what your observances are in truth, instead of relying on everybody else's, you're never going to seek this stuff out. You're just going to assume that everybody else is telling you the truth. And yet here we are in 2023 wearing masks. Idiotic things like that. It just dumbfounds me. So again, you know, those people, there are people that are never going to be able to raise their consciousness. Let the fools be fooled. Let the dead bury the dead. There's nothing you can do to help them. Particularly if you don't know how to help yourself first. See, I've already done all this stuff for me. The only reason I do this is for you. And again, like I've said many times, I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. So God bless you. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.